These are the 5 traits of extremely magnetic people. So people that you perceive to have very contagious energy that kind of pulls you in, makes you desire more, makes them in a way irresistible. I'm going to show you what those 5 traits are and how exactly you can embody them. Now, the first trait of extremely magnetic people, and the first thing to realize too, is that attractiveness and having magnetic energy is an energy game. This is not about physical, exterior ways that we look. You'll find too that people appear to be more attractive the more they own and the more that they, in a way, accept the way that they look, the way that they are. So for this, realize that this is a game of energy. This is a game of how you are embodying yourself. Have you ever met somebody that maybe there's something about them that just draws you in? Not even just the way that they look, but the way that they naturally are, the way that they are themselves. And the thing that you'll realize is the key to these 5 traits that I share, simply embody them, is a choice. And the first one on this list is something that I've seen over 4,500 people go through a process that I have. It's a magnetic love challenge that I've done like a year ago. And this was the thing that made all the difference for everybody that I noticed. A lot of times as spiritual people, or people that are on the spiritual path, we may have a challenge of feeling in our own frame, being present inside of our own body. And a lot of times this is because in childhood we tune to other people and in order to get validation, love, or support. So what happens is later in life, we may feel not attractive, we may feel like we don't have magnetic energy. And one of the main reasons is, it's simply because we're tuning to others to find safety. We're trying to create safety by getting other people's validation, other people's love, and other people's approval. Now the thing with attraction is one of the most unattractive energies that exists is the energy of neediness, of needing something outside of yourself in order to feel a certain way. And what you'll notice about extremely attractive people is they do not have that level of neediness because they are in their own frame. So the first one on this is being in your own frame of reality. This is being centered inside of yourself and not tuning to other people. Now, they say, I've watched like YouTube videos on this before, whoever has, in an interaction between 2 people, whoever has the stronger frame holds the energy. Now, this doesn't mean that it's like a narcissist and it's like, I demand this. But in general, because part of frame as well is being congruent, being incongruent to who you naturally are. And when you are centered in yourself and you are able to like lead and have a vision for something you want, for what you want or desire in your life, that makes you attractive. That's why boundaries can also be a very good thing. Could be honestly on this list, maybe it is in some way. But like when I think about frame, this also has to do with being able to choose the meaning that you give things. Think about it. Somebody that's like complaining about their job. Oh, my job sucks. I'm in this position. My mom said this. My dad said this. My ex did this. Whatever. Is stories that are all about a lack of frame. They're stories that say, I'm a victim. I'm in this mentality. I'm being pulled in all these different directions. And what people really want, or what is very attractive, is somebody that is in their own frame, that is centered inside of themselves, that chooses the meaning that they give in life. And because they choose the meaning, they then have the ability to choose where their energy goes, and they're not diffusing their energy or giving it away to other people. So being in your own frame is attractive. Now, part of this is the meaning, and like, think about it. You give things meaning. Nothing has any meaning than the meaning we give it. If you talk about a rainy day is a neutral idea. Based on the meaning we give it is what we get out of it. If we say a rainy day sucks, then it'll suck, and we'll not feel good emotion about it. If we think that a rainy day is awesome, then we're going to feel awesome, excited about a rainy day. Now, in the same way, in our own lives, we all have a meaning, something that we came here for, a purpose. And I promise you, people that are the most attractive, that have that magnetic energy, they are living their purpose. They are in alignment with how they choose to be. If I were to look at my energy now doing what I love, and even I'll take this a step further, but now doing what I love versus when I worked that 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, I can undoubtedly say that my energy is way more attractive now than it was back then. Now, even take this a step further. I recently did a live event called the Shift Experience here in Austin. When I was in the frequency of those 3-day live event, my energy was much more even contagious than even it is right now making this YouTube video, even though I'm passionate about it. But the reason I say that is when you start following your passion, when you're in your own frame, your energy is naturally magnetic. So that's the first step to the process, and that's really what changes so much of it. Now, the second step is absolutely necessary, tied onto the first step. The second trait of highly attractive people is that they are not attached to outcome. People that are attached to outcome, what they end up doing is they end up trying to control things, and they're doing things to get something. So it's like, oh, I want this person's number, this person's validation, or whatever. It's like, you can tell when you're talking to someone and you want something from them. I used to work selling the women's shoes, and if I went into work and I was like, I want to sell shoes to people and I want to make money, people would feel that that was my intention. But when I went in with the intention of having fun and connecting to other people, I would sell more and do even better and have more fun and enjoy the process. Now, people that are attractive, they are naturally not attached to outcome because they're having fun. Or not even just having fun, but they're in the moment. They're present. Not everyone maybe has that certain type of sense of humor or something, but people can be present, and being present is attractive. So present to the moment, which means the things you're doing because it's who you are and not of what it'll get you. You see the difference there? It's like I'm selling you shoes because it's going to make my paycheck versus I'm selling shoes because it's what I choose to do in the moment. Or I'm making videos because of the YouTube views, the subscribers, and all this stuff, or I'm making videos because it's who I am. There's a big difference there. But present energy, big present energy, BPE, big present energy, all right? The more present you are, the more attractive you are. And the funny thing is when you're doing your purpose and you're in the moment, you're more attractive. But when you're trying to escape where you are, that energy is very not magnetic. So you want to be aware of that. Now, another aspect of this that will make you attractive is, in a trait that is very attractive, is when you're actually able to receive and love yourself. That's really what the attraction game is, by the way, of love, of attracting love or being confident or being magnetic. It's, can you feel love inside of your body? Because remember, the energy you feel on the inside is being projected out and other people are feeling that. So, if what it happens is you feel a lack of love, or you look for it on the outside, or you doubt whether you deserve it because of some worthiness childhood wound or something, then we're looking for it on the outside. But remember, the way reality works is reality is like a mirror. You can't change the reflection on the mirror by changing it with your hands. You have to first change your reflection and smile. And in the same way, it's about feeling self-love, about letting go of the unworthiness blocks that we have, about knowing, look at this. This will change your perspective of yourself for this one idea. What rules do you have that show whether you're worthy or not? If X, Y, and Z happens, then I would know I'm worthy. And the thing is, a lot of times when it comes to attractiveness or love or magnetic energy, people have so many things that need to happen. I need to be the best son or daughter I could be. I need to be the best this. I need to have this going for me. I need to make this kind of money. And if I had all of these things, then I'd be worthy. And it's so many rules that it's almost impossible. Those rules, a lot of times, are piled on from childhood. They're not even yours normally. They're your parents, and we just adopted them. But what if you took away all the rules and you knew and you started to realize, wait, I'm worthy simply because I exist? If we think about it, the universe, we have trees, we have air, we have water, we have all these elements that all have a purpose and all work so synergistically together. And everybody on this planet has some type of purpose. Universe has deemed you worthy to exist, but we block ourselves. So just know you have worthy for simply being you. It's something I learned from Bashar. He's a whole dialogue about it, but it has to do with understanding that the universe does not make mistakes. If you exist It's because you are worthy to exist, and you will always exist because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So with that being said, it's important to realize that if you exist here, which you're watching this video, you do, you are worthy because you exist. So that will help you understand that all this is a game of letting go of believing you can't love yourself and you're not worthy, because you are. Now, another trait that is just so attractive, and it's counterintuitive to a lot of people, but it's the power of vulnerability. Being real and vulnerable, even if it means you could get rejected. I went recently and did the Shift Experience Live event, and I opened up the whole entire 3-day event with talking about one of the most vulnerable stories I could possibly tell. It was about how in 2012, I went through a spiritual awakening, and I literally thought we were going to ascend into the 5th dimensional state of consciousness and not be here anymore. So I sold my car, or I didn't even sell my car. I let my car get repoed. I quit my job on a whim. I wrote letters to all my family members because I was so excited to ascend, and I thought that that's was going to happen on December 21st, 2012. And I did all these really irrational things that honestly were very embarrassing. Like, I was so resistant to getting a job that I was going to move into Sunset Park. I was going to live at this park in Vegas. And there's some very embarrassing stories in there. But I was vulnerable, and I shared it. And even though it's like I could have been like rejected or I could have been judged, it was like everybody just accepted it because it was vulnerable. It was putting out my heart. Now, in the same way, a lot of times we have these vulnerability blocks. We're afraid to be vulnerable with people. When it comes to being attractive, nice guys and people pleasers, they're very afraid of rejection because normally there's an abandonment wound there. So it's like, well, I'm going to do anything I can to get your validation and support, but then it's not authentic. So one of the best things that I've learned to do is the cure to that was actually to be vulnerable, which means when I met my girlfriend, I was actually very vulnerable and very much like leading and putting my heart out there, not afraid of rejection. And then that allowed me to lead and allowed the energy to be much cleaner. So be the real you. Be vulnerable. Even if vulnerable, this means the ability to like express yourself, not afraid of the rejection. Not even not afraid of the rejection, but just knowing that rejections could be a part of it, but at least you're being the real you. And if you're holding back different parts of yourself, you may be wasting your time. Because then eventually you're going to want to be the real you, and when you are the real you, then the person you're with may not know what the real you is. So this is about making the choice to be the real you and be vulnerable now. Now, the fifth and probably one of the most powerful traits of highly attractive people is that they simply own their insecurities. They own their weirdness. And anything you can normally be insecure of, you can reframe it. And you can own it. And you can even feature it and know it makes you different. I've done that with many areas of my life. And if you go into it, a lot of times that's where you gain the confidence as well. Even right now, a little zit on my lip. I could be like, I'm not gonna make the video because I have a zit on my lip. But if I just own it, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm still gonna do what I do, that's more attractive. Than if I'm like, and let everyone else tell me who I am. There are certain people that are different, have different characteristics, have different heights. These are sometimes physical things. Even you might be shy, an energetic thing. You might be shy and afraid of it. If you just own that you're shy, you'd be way more attractive. My buddy Victor did that. He was originally so self-conscious because he's like not as loud as me and some other people in his life. And he would feel guilty by being quiet in the corner and stuff like that. And then what happens, he eventually owned it, accepted it, and now he's actually more extroverted, but also his energy is completely different because he's accepted an aspect of himself that for a while he felt guilty about. Now, everything we're mentioning right now, when we talk about frame, loving yourself, not being attached to outcome, these are all aspects of confidence. And what I'm going to be doing from July 1st to July 21st is a brand new 21-day confidence challenge. So if you haven't joined yet, now is the best time to join for the early bird pricing. And this is a chance to really get into your own frame, to feel 100% confident, to remove the fear and the doubt that may be having like needy energy go out, and how to really understand who you are and how to feel safe inside your own body. We're going to be going through a 21-day process for bringing our energy back, being the most confident version of ourselves. And if you want to join, click the link below or go to aarondowdy.com/love. Now's the best time to join. And then also, if you want to learn the 5 confidence secrets that make you attractive AF, it's one of the most popular videos on this topic of confidence, check this video out right here. It will wire in more confidence than ever before. People feel what you feel about you. The energy inside of our bodies are contagious. And based on how we feel about ourselves, that energy is being emanated out, and other people are responding to us